lights, camera, action. Living in a dream, now my music, they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Felt like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my, we ride for my brothers, no lie. All you can die, never wrong, they right. I ain't changing my side, yeah, we in it for life. And I've been magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laugh.
All right, Coach. Well, it may be a bit soggy, but that certainly hasn't deterred this fan base. A great crowd on hand to battle the raindrops at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Tennessee Titans. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down. What happened there? Was that just a missed assignment on the O-line?
It certainly felt like it, but also the speed of the play. When you're talking about defensive end, they want to be ahead of the clock, don't they? They want to be upfield, making plays on every snap. How about his agility there to run that one down?
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. It's brought in by Adam Humphries. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Mariota gives to Henry. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive. Couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Working out of the gun, Mariota. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
A first down carry for Henry. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, here's Henry. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
58's the mic.
From the red zone now, Mariota. That is caught. It's Tajay Sharp. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. After the penalty, it's Henry. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another first down.
First and goal at the 2-yard line.
Mike 58 right there. Coming to you, coming to you.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Derrick Henry, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Titans take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Out of the gun, Luck. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to throw, Luck. He'll find Paris Campbell, that's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
First down, Indianapolis.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be third down.
And it's third down.
Check out. Wide, 622. Come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Wide, 622.
From the 50, it's Locke. Robinson's got it. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And this will be a gain of right around 3 from the 7 out to the 10-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to make it third down and 10.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
From the gun, Mariota. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Check out. Ready.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59. I don't even know why his team.
On the delay, here's Hines. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Line 40. 59. Okay, double.
Now Luck. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Jeffrey Simmons. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Luck and the Colts looking for something big here after the sack. This is 3rd and long.
11 feet.
A shotgun snap for Luck. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard.
The Titans take over 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Hey,
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Key tight end.
They'll toss it to Henry. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. Touchdown, Titans! Derrick Henry with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Titans are able to extend their lead. Zuerlein good with a PAT. And that'll make the score 14-0. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Zuerlein out now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. The throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Check 4.
They run with Hines. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the gun, here's Love. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 17-yard line.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
Line's 59. All day, just like that. Just like that.
They'll run on first down. It's Hines, and he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On 2nd and 7, Luck. This is caught by Robinson. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. The quick slant caught, and he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. T.Y. Hilton, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go. Do it.
The Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November.
But
they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Here I come again.
Mariota to throw it. Flushed out right. He'll try and run it. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Mariota had an 87-yard run as a rookie. This one a bit less, but it is a first down.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Mariota hands to Henry. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge differences we know between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's go.
On 2nd down now, it's Henry. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They'll try to throw now. Mariota. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rocky Sin. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much, because as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
After the interception, it's Locke. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Harold Landry in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Here's Locke. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Check 59. Mike is dead. Wahoo!
3rd and long. It's Locke. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Derrick Henry. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down and 4, Mariota, he gets it to Humphries. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
On first down, Henry. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 17 yards on that play for the Titans. And we were down on the field watching Henry warm up before the game. He's a big man. No wonder he breaks those tackles.
And you remember what I told you when we were watching? It's not all pads.
Yeah.
You get him out of pads and just see him in a regular suit or an outfit. He is a huge human being and a lot faster than what people know. When he gets rolling, he's a lot to bring down.
That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Like, slide in! You gonna see me in your nightmares, son! You gonna see me!
Now Mariota. That's complete to Sharp. Touchdown, Titans! Tajay Sharp, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Titans are able to extend their lead. Zerline connects on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a throw here to his running back. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. Looking deep for Hilton. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's Jackson to return. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Titan football. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
22, Mike 22.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mariota. He's got his man Sharp complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Blue 18. 58, come on. One. 58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Two, fellas, let's go. 58 to Mike, 58.
Mariota now from the 50. And caught by Henry. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
What you got?
From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Got a man right side, it's Sharp. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Zerline's kick is up and through. And that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. He gets away from one. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans 39.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston. Then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Luck. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jarrell Casey able to record his 5th sack of the season. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Here's Luck. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense,
we
got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
They'll run it again with Henry. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Mariota. He completes it to Henry. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A pickup of 27, and they pick up the 1st down in the process.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
They'll run on 1st down. Carney. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Hey, check 24. Check 24.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Gallman will run it, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A 20th carry down for Derrick Henry. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Mariota. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts' 27-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
On first down, Henry. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, second down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. Again, it's Henry. Sheds a second man.
He's building up some momentum, isn't he?
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. On third down, Mariota. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a fourth down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
An incomplete pass leads to second and 10 from the 25. Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. How big is that penalty? Wipe out the INT.
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
So now a fresh set of downs, first and 10 after roughing the passer. This is Hines. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a second and 11. Out of the gun, Luck. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball. Check 24, check 24. 3.
Now on 2nd and 13, Mariota. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. 22 yards there, a first down.
22 yards. That's good for a Titans first down.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Don't say nothing.
They'll run on first down. It's Henry. Derrick Henry all alone. Touchdown, Titans. Derrick Henry, 43 yards. And the Titans are able to extend their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
First down 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. From the 29, Luck, complete to Hilton. 7 yards there and a first down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Here's Luck. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. No yardage to speak of whatsoever. Leads to a third down.
He's forced out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
The Colts on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
12. Mike, check. 59. Hey, Echo. Here I come.
From the gun, here's Locke. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That's a 1st down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10. A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Kill, kill, kill. Turn it up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn it up.
Now it's Henry. And an alley to run. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. The Titans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now Gallman. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
On 3rd down, Henry. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Second and 6 at the 21-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Here we go.
Back to throw. Love. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. A shotgun snap for Love. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now it's Love. And he's got his man on the out route. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 1st and 10, Love. He'll find Hines out of the backfield. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. Oh, I was just about to say he had missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
The Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Now a timeout being called as there's an injured Titan down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Yo.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. This will be fielded at the 17. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Harold Landry has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
To try again after the sack. Luck. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jarrell Casey in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And they will take a knee here. So this one, a Tennessee Titan victory. And when you break it down, this was just a thoroughly dominating performance.
And I truly thought that we'd have a tight game coming into this one. I think you felt the same way based on our conversation after the production meeting. But obviously not the case. And how about just how it broke open? You just all of a sudden, whoosh, there it is. This thing is pretty much done. And the crowd stayed with it to celebrate because they're like, let's enjoy watching our team play this well. This is fun.
So for Tennessee, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, what else is new? They fall again. That's now 10 straight losses to start the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
S-T-R-O. Yeah. How many of y'all came to win? Oh, they asking my name, huh? You ready? S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you. Like challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up. I can't spend the day with you. I'm out of my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support ride. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time, another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take nosebleeds. Reporting live from the winning side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah, beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit, your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop, it's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired, can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get the off my chest. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, don't